After China restricted rare earth exports to India, India retaliated with tariff measures against China on one hand, while facing reality and sending negotiators to China on the other. However, India has no leverage. I mentioned in a previous video that for someone like Modi, who loves to boast, the best strategy is to slap him hard. In fact, China not only restricted rare earth exports to India, but also limited some engineering equipment. In this video, we will discuss China's restriction on urea exports to India. Urea, a major nitrogen fertilizer, is critical, and a gap in India's supply chain could severely harm agricultural production. Some say China's actions are unjust. Yes, I think it's a bit domineering. But for a country like India, which disregards international morality, this is the best approach. India falsely accuses Pakistan of supporting militants, cuts off Pakistan's river water, stores it during the dry season, and blocks it during the rainy season, causing severe harm to Pakistani farmers. Modi and BJP officials shamelessly say not a drop of water will go to Pakistan. Moreover, India does not limit this behavior to Pakistan. It often treats Bangladesh the same way. For such a rogue nation, China's strong countermeasures uphold world justice and defend international morality. Since Modi enjoys banning Chinese apps, robbing Chinese companies, and imposing tariffs to boycott Chinese goods, why not have China simply stop selling to India altogether? Doesn't this align perfectly with Modi's expectations? India, as the New World factory to replace China, a technological superpower, a developed nation by 2047, and a country about to build a space station and achieve manned moon landings, should have no trouble handling low-tech items like rare earths and urea. So why, after export restrictions, is Indian media instead blaming China? It is said that India has sent people to Russia to mediate, hoping to ease tensions with China. But clearly, Russia has deceived China multiple times, and China will not accommodate India for Russia's sake again. It was precisely because of Russia's advice that India was allowed to join BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, leading to the functional paralysis of these groups. As a U.S. watchdog, India has frantically disrupted cooperation among member states, causing China significant trouble. Thus, when the International Mediation Institute was established in Hong Kong, China invited neither India nor Russia. Now, with Russia deeply trapped in the Ukraine war, China has paid a heavy price to support it, causing Europe to lean toward the U.S. in the China-U.S. competition. China has fulfilled its responsibilities and obligations as a friend. If it were to follow Russia's advice and reconcile with India, that would be a pipe dream. In fact, though urea production has low technical content and a simple principle, India still cannot manage it. Producing urea requires large amounts of natural gas or coal. China, a coal-rich nation and a petrochemical powerhouse, has a complete industrial chain, enabling low-cost, high-quality urea production. China's urea output accounts for over 30% of the global total. Other countries, such as Russia, the U.S., and Middle Eastern nations, though producing significant amounts, lack China's cost advantage and prioritize domestic demand, unwilling to urgently expand capacity for India. This ties into another Indian issue: credibility. If Russia, the U.S., or Middle Eastern countries expand capacity for India, and China suddenly lowers prices and lifts export controls, Indians would unhesitatingly break agreements and buy from China again. India's severe lack of commercial credibility is a global consensus. Some netizens often joke in the comment section, between a snake and an Indian, always trust the snake. Yes, I have pointed out multiple times that under Modi's leadership, India is becoming the most isolated country globally, with an extremely poor international image. No matter what difficulties India faces, no one will genuinely help, as India has no true friends. Everyone knows India might betray them at any moment, making any agreement with India redundant. It should be noted that agriculture is vital to India because it has not completed industrialization. Its agriculture contributes a higher share to GDP than industry and provides 45% to 50% of jobs. Due to employment absorption issues, agriculture's impact on the economy far exceeds its GDP share. India has the highest GDP inflation globally, aside from widespread falsification, with an overly high service sector share. Developed nations see their tertiary sector become the economic backbone only after industrialization, while India relies on it without completing industrialization. Thus, any major crisis in industry or agriculture will place immense pressure on Indian society. China's rare earth controls, technology restrictions, and urea export limits will cause significant trouble for both India's industry and agriculture. China never intended to provoke India, as Chinese people simply do not care about India, focusing instead on competing with the US. It was Modi, the wizard, who forcibly clashed with China. China endured for a long time before reluctantly taking action to discipline India. Now that Modi has gotten the harsh response he wanted from China, the world is waiting to see what effective counteraction he can muster. If he can only continue faking and deceiving his people with mental victories, India will once again become a global laughingstock.